I told you there was a game on, Pezzy lad, and there is a game on. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. What happened? I can't remember the last time we spoke. What happened? England got 303. That's plus 209. India 52 for 1. What do they need, Pez? 157, something like that. 9 wickets in hand, 150 odd. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry is he. Morning to you, Pezzy lad. You enjoying the cricket?
Mate, we're on. We're on here.
Boys are on here.
What a day. Firstly, they said we wouldn't have a day due to rain, but it's amazing what a full day of cricket can give you. This was 11 wickets, 325 or so runs.
Ish.
Seesawing, India in front. England got to parity a little bit. And then Bumrah, who we'll talk about soon, came and I think gave India the ascendancy heading into the final day. But it's game on. I also took a really good catch in my dreams last night.
Did you?
I went to club training. I went to club training. I had a helmet on. And I was standing at what would be like long on to the nets. Yeah. And somebody hit a ball and I knew I was going to catch it. And I ran back and like I was still thinking about it. I was falling to the ground and I had my fingers up. So I'm not sure the technique was quite right. But I still took a great catch with a helmet on at long on. And that was it. Don't know what that means.
Did the batter stand his ground? His or her ground?
Don't know what they did. I didn't care. They played a lower grade than me.
Just give him a send-off?
I don't know. It was just more like, gee, I can play. Anyway, it was a dream. Normally I dream about shapes and shit. So.
Yeah. That'd be good if you woke up and as you woke up, you were given the send-off. So you caught it and you woke up, fuck off! And you're like, whoa, Jesus Christ.
I guess that would be good too.
Yep. All right, Pez. Joe Root. Joe Root gives England...
Hang on. Can you explain the day in grade terms?
Oh, nice roll of the R there. That is a man who has travelled on the basketball court. Up the boomers. I had it in Joe Root language here. Yeah. Just heading back in the dressing room after the day's play. Fuck's sake, boys. Any danger?
Yeah.
Go with me. Any fucking danger, boys? And that leads into the first point, Pez. Joe Root scores a masterful 100 runs, 109 runs, and he's given England a chance, but there's no one going with him. Ain't no one going with Joe. Sensational 109, 21st of his Test hundreds. He's got 50 50s as well, and that was in the first innings. This guy is single-handedly keeping England competitive in Test match cricket. Ain't no one else going with him, with the bat especially. It was Ian Bell has said today that was his most fluent 100 he's ever scored. Pretty good judge of fluidity.
And fluency.
Sexual fluidity.
Yes. Saying separately. Yeah.
And people on commentary, Atherton, etc., saying one of his best hundreds. Hard to argue. Wonderful 100. He is in maybe career best form. Maybe.
Hadn't scored one at home since 2018.
Yeah, so I'm going off the back of like the winter in the UK, in India and Sri Lanka, scoring huge runs. He is single-handedly keeping England alive.
Totally. Side struggling. His players struggling, not just these ones as well, but the entire kind of men's setup struggling. His captaincy struggling. Facing an all-timer like Bumrah and a really good Indian attack. Yeah. The circumstances of the game, I think, make it one of his best tons. And I think you got to hand it to him. It's big boy stuff. Big boy stuff.
Big boy shit, this is.
Has a captain ever had more reason to ask any danger? You know, like the last I can think of is like Alan Border used to have to do this in the 80s. Yeah. A lot of any danger batting from the captain.
Yeah, he averaged 53 before it was cool.
Before it was cool to do so.
Well, he batted with a toothpick.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, those DD slashes from Kmart.
What did he average? 50-something.
50.56, I think.
Yeah, so 53. Always ran up to nearest 53. That's what they say.
Yeah. I have 50.56 in my head.
I'm sure no one's going to let you know.
156
I'm sure no one will let you know.
Matches, some numbers in my head anyway, zeros and ones. Joe Root, like he really dominates that extra cover to backward point region. If you pitch up there, you're gone. Great, it's great. And I liked that there was a moment when Root reached his 50 and everyone was booing him.
What's that about?
Yeah, and with his 100 as well.
Yeah, I think it's his views on Brexit.
So that was off 68 balls, and there's Dom Sibley congratulating him himself with 25 off 100 himself.
Well, Joe Root's going so well that he actually celebrated a successful review of Dom Sibley.
That's right. Punched the air.
Punch his glove. Boom!
That was interesting.
That's how well he's seeing him.
And now there's, because Sibley hit, 20 odd off 100 130 balls or something.
A
tough watch. And there's a sort of a conversation about whether that was an important knock from him to go with Root, who was counter-attacking at the other end. And on the one hand, you go, okay, yeah, it's good to have that. Root obviously wanted him there, punch in the air.
Yeah.
You know, that's the Dom Sibley that they want.
Yeah.
But by the same token, it's like, if you're not scoring many runs and you look shit doing it, there's not a lot. You haven't got a lot going for you.
Yeah.
You know, but and then he ends up playing the worst shot of all time to get out. But I've got this feeling that like Sibley's going to score a really big fuck you ton at some point this series, and it's going to be like, and it's going to be and I'm going to be happy for him to do so.
I don't think anyone dislikes him as a bloke. It'd be quite a lot if he's scoring such bad runs and you're like, you're an absolute goat. I mean, I was thinking that bit during the times. I mean, I first realised that there wasn't a god when Joffre was taken out of the Ashes, but Dom Sibley's still available for the Ashes.
That's when you realised.
That's when I first realised, like, this doesn't add up. This isn't fair. Why do bad things happen to good people? And also me. Yeah, mate, Dom Sibley, just when he tried to score, he's played a horrible shot. But what about Josh?
I know that shot was kind of like someone had said to him, mate, can you fucking get on with it, please?
Okay, I'll try.
I'll try and drive a short of a length ball then. Great catch from punt, by the way.
He's had a good game with the gloves. What about Butler shouldering arms 6 times in Test cricket? He's been out without offering a shot. That's a lot for a guy who's a really good ball striker. Remarkable. Also, he survived the close LB just before he got rock and rolled. Again, Bairstow and Curran, only 2 bats to get above 20 in this game. Dan Lawrence batting at 6. He looks, if you watch highlights of him playing for Essex in the county championship, he looks just class above. Run a ball stuff, doing crazy shit. I can see the fear in his face through the grill at test match level. And I don't blame him because it's good.
His grill almost feels a little bit higher. Like
it does feel a little bit higher.
Who couldn't bat.
Yeah,
under
exactly.
11s.
It's just tilted a little bit too up towards the peak. Doesn't make any sense. But mate,
I thought like there's obviously there's a lot of any danger batting from
there's
Joe
a lot
Root,
of any danger batting.
I thought this particular innings from the England batting group was good. Like you can't ask for much more in a second innings against a good attack with some very sporting conditions to hit 300 odd and put your team back in contention. They bet like there was that's normally how a second innings really works. Like someone scores a lot of runs and then there's some breezy contributions. When they had that from like Sibley, he wasn't breezy, but like Bairstow, Lawrence, Curran, even Ollie Robinson made a few runs to go with Root. I mean, I thought it was a pretty good innings.
I suppose if you score 300 in the third innings of a game, you're going to be there or thereabouts. The problem is they got bowled for 183 again in the first innings. I suppose that is the problem. I suppose give myself a little bit of wiggle room there. A little bit of wiggle room. I don't want to commit to that too soon. The second thing, Pez, I want to talk about is Bumrah. I've said Bumrah keeps India alive, but I mean it was right at that point when Bumrah takes the new ball and he gets Root out for 109 with a new ball. I think at that point, England were about 170-ish.
Yeah.
Ant Sharma in front. About 170-ish in front when Root was out. Then he picks up Curran and who else did he get? Oh, he got done Broad, first ball. So he's taken 5 for 64 in this innings, 4 for 46 in the first innings, 9 for the match. I don't know if it was that important because he's obviously just an absolute worldie. He is their best fast bowler. But it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading a bit too much online, but he was just getting a bit of shit after the World Test Championship final, which might have been just in the sense that you can critique someone's performance, but I think he got fucking hammered a bit after the World Test Championship final.
Well, once some people expect so much of you,
right,
then they just want you to perform at that level.
Do that all the time, please.
And always.
Yes.
He goes there. He's obviously got his little high wire act tiptoeing as he runs in.
Got a little high wire there, do you?
You got your little high wire act.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Oh, yeah.
I just want to appraise you. There are in Australia, there are bullwhips.
Yeah.
There are kangaroo hide bullwhips and red hide bullwhips.
Red hide bullwhips.
Right? They have various price ranges.
Right.
But Bumrah is top of the line bullwhip action. Is that not what you're seeing when especially like knocking over Broad, just higher up, tiptoe, see you later.
Yeah, that's
you're
true.
out.
That's true.
I don't know. That's Bumrah for me.
Which is actually different to how Siraj, when Siraj releases the ball, he says this. Fuck! Is Siraj okay? What's going on with Siraj? He had a real bee in his bonnet yesterday. I know we've seen...
It might be something from the area he grew up in, mate.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. Yeah. He actually grew up in areas where they wear big coats. So... just be careful. It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing, yeah. Mate, Siraj got involved in about 5 or 6 bust-ups yesterday, and when he caught Curran off Bumrah, he like tried to throw the stumps down at the bowler's end. And was like, is everything okay? Is everything okay, Mohamed Siraj?
He's so damn lively. I don't mind it.
I think he adds. I said this on day one or whatever. I think he adds such a great element to this bowling attack. I think he's such a great third seamer, and he's such a good bowler.
And you can tell he's competitive, mate. Like you can tell.
No, you can tell. I can tell. I think he just needs to cool thy jets a little bit.
He's just working out his level.
Mate, when Kohli is saying calm down, he might need to.
In any cricket team that you're in, like it always does give you some kind of happiness or safety when, like, if you're a bat, just so, like if there's if there's any bowler in your side that basically takes it upon themselves to like express all of the pent up hatred or anger that you have, both for your own life but also for the opposition. I think Siraj is that guy. I feel like every team needs someone who like just has a little bit of red mist. You do have to pull them back so you can feel good about yourself as well. And Siraj is playing that role. Like he obviously gets very wound up, very angry, and like. And he's going to make mistakes, as he has. There's a little bit of carry on, but he's young. He'll pull that back.
He'll pull it back. I suppose England doing the same thing, aren't they? Because they're just phasing out Stuart Broad red mist, introduced a bit of Ollie Robinson red mist.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, Anderson was giving it back as well, to be fair.
All quicks should be allowed a little bit of taxation on being able to do that kind of stuff, I reckon. Yeah, just a little bit.
Anyway, the point was, Bumrah sensational again, and I will never get tired of him bowling at other countries which aren't my own. Pez, third thing.
Yep.
What's going to happen on day 5? If I can give you some stats leading into that. So the situation, I think it's 157 to win. I think it's that from here, 9 wickets in hand. I suspect that it's either going to be a 3-wicket win. India will chase it 3 down.
Okay.
Or they'll be 25 short. I feel like it goes a bit that way in England. You know, it's like it's but I noticed I got some numbers here for you. In the 2018 tour, the first test, that India were chasing 193, all out 162. In the 4th test, they were chasing 245, all out 184. 5th test, they were chasing 464, and they were all out 345. So in those 3 instances, they were chasing smallish totals, 2 of them, 1 wasn't, and they came up short 3 times. That was 3 years ago. It'd be interesting to see how much this team's matured, because it's a fucking. We've seen it. They're right on the verge of being an absolute worldy gun team here, almost as good as New Zealand. That's how good they're going.
Yeah, that's a big call.
Called in. What do you think? What do you think day 5?
Man, I thought the last hour was huge for them. I think wiping 50 off the target with the new ball makes a massive difference. It's the second time in the game that they've managed to do something in a really crucial period of time. The other was the tail runs that they scored with 70-odd. I just feel like those 2 moments keep them ahead a fair amount. Like I think going into the final day, though you mentioned those stats, firstly, they've come a long way since then. Secondly, I just think as a team, when you have 150 to get in the final day and you have 9 bats in the shed, you think even just mathematically, they only need 2 or 3 guys to do the business, and they're pretty much there. Against that, wickets come in clusters in this game, so you know 1 can bring 3 and 4. It's what makes it tantalising. I mean, England have bowlers that can start going through you as well, but I do think that England are 40 short. I think the Indian team, through those experiences, they're not afraid anymore. I do think that they'll get there, and I think they'll do the I think they'll do the business. It'll be interesting to see if England can get a look at the tail, who were so effective in the first innings through their will swing at anything approach. Will they swing at anything if the game's in the balance? That'll be interesting to see whether they sort of stick to that strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an interesting one where when punt comes in at 6, I mean, that can be over in 15 minutes or they can scratch him off first ball, with him running down the wicket or trying to reverse lap Anderson over first slip like he did it in India. But then you got Jadeja at 7. I take your point. I think what would be an interesting one if Kohli gets in here. Great chance for Virat to get a 30 not out, a 40 not out. But equally, I think England can just have a little scar here, just get him early again.
You know what would be really interesting from an English perspective is who Root starts with tomorrow, especially with the sort of Robinson v Broad question.
Might bowl himself.
Well, exactly. That's a good point, actually. Hadn't considered that.
No, you hadn't.
But like a lot of people point out that Stuart Broad, unlike the other bowlers, doesn't really have like a super strength. You know, he doesn't particularly swing it, doesn't particularly bowl fast or nip it around. But I disagree that he doesn't have a super strength. His super strength is vibe.
Yeah,
you know, and he put his headband on yesterday.
Oh yeah,
he's at home. He could come in tomorrow. Like, you know, he's the sort of guy that he's the guy I think that could go through them. Though he doesn't have those super strengths.
It's true.
He's a vibe guy. So. I'll be curious as to whether, like, Root, with not a lot of runs to play with, throws the ball to Broad straight away, or whether he starts with Anderson and Robinson. Yeah. I think that's a little subplot that's interesting. But, look, I think India will get there.
Hashtag RC2C brought to you by Acco. KV Reacts says, hashtag RC2C. Boysies! As much as I love you covering real cricket, England v India, can't help but notice the Australian cricket... that Australian cricket has dived nose down faster than the 1929 economic crash. Thoughts?
Well, and that was a
very specific.
That was a nosedive, that 1929 crash. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, boys, when are you going to start talking about Australia, Bangladesh, as though we're avoiding it. Firstly, we're not avoiding it. We're not doing like blue Ryband videos of every... Firstly, we can't watch it here.
Hey, we won last night. We should start talking about it.
Christo, 30-odd. No, this has been going on for quite a while, the Australian slide into mediocrity. This isn't a new thing. It's not a nosedive. That's the only thing I disagree with. I think it's been going on for quite a while. And I think that we're actually, you and I, you know, like any father worth his salt, are harsher on our own children than anyone else. Like, this has been a sustained period of ordinariness, not just confined to the white ball side. So the thoughts are that things need to change, but they won't.
We'll be talking about that much more in depth, as well as Archer being out of the Ashes, etc., on the main podcast that we do, which will be on YouTube, but they'll also be on Spotify, etc., which will be out on Tuesday next week. So that's when we'll talk about that. In the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow for day 5. Got a real game on here and enjoying it. Fuck, I love Test cricket. See you tomorrow.